Hi everybody, I'm Beebs Kelley. Welcome back to another video. One of the most loved, well-respected, and popular public figures made their triumphant return this last weekend to Trooping the Colour. That's right, we're talking about Catherine the Princess of Wales, who after about 6 months out of the spotlight as she recovered from surgery and underwent preventative chemotherapy, attended the event. While she's still undergoing treatment, she's not returning to duty at this time, but she was feeling well enough to attend the parade and celebrate alongside her family. She did hint at some occasional appearances coming up over the summer when she feels well enough, and perhaps a handful of low-key events or family events are on her agenda. Her statements and her approach to tackling this difficult period of time has been graceful, brave, and thoughtful. As anyone would, she wants and deserves privacy while dealing with health matters, but that did prove to be tricky just due to how much the public has interest in her and care for her. But this whole ordeal has shown an even greater spotlight on just how important Catherine is to the public, to culture. She is a very significant figure, and this period of time with her absence causing, for some, a lot of worry, for others, a frenzy and a spurring off all kinds of crazy conspiracy theories, really proved just how significant Catherine is in culture. It also showed just how popular and well-liked Catherine is. And why is that? Internet has crowned her the people's princess, similar to her late mother-in-law, Princess Diana. They've also tried running with the nickname the children's princess because she has such wonderful, genuine connection and interaction with children. They seem to warm to her immediately and really, really like her. She seems to get great joy from interacting with kids. And others have chosen the nickname Catherine the Great. All seem equally suitable. Let's take a look at the top 5 things you need to know about Catherine the Princess of Wales and just what has contributed to her massive popularity and how it differs from others who have married into the royal family. Any human, it goes without saying, who married Prince William would have had massive levels of interest on them. The eyes of the world would be on them. As the future queen, the mother to a future monarch, this person in this role or position would become a public figure immediately. But Catherine has not only done a great job of being in this role, but also by not creating drama or having major missteps while in this role either. The amount of mistakes she's made are tiny, and the amount of successes and triumphs and positive things that she has done is a list that would go on forever. So she's really made something of this opportunity. The most used words to describe Catherine is authentic. She approaches her duty from a really genuine place. When she's interacting with people, it's mutually warm. And the causes that she has selected, it's clear, are ones she's passionate about and interested in, which support this sort of authenticity that she has in her working life, in her duties. For example, she is an art history graduate, and so much of her charity work focuses on art, as well as sport, which she clearly enjoys, as well as young children and mental health. These are causes that she has a real and genuine connection to in her personal life. Like, as a human being, she is clearly connected with these various causes. Especially with the Early Years Project, she's motivated to make positive impacts that will have lasting benefits, and she is very much on the right track, especially with the Early Years Project, which is one that I have been watching carefully because I take great interest in the exact same cause. By all accounts, she studies the issues and charities that she's involved with really well. She comes prepared. She knows what's going on within the charities and organizations, and she pays attention to the people there. And because she understands these organizations, she's able to bring greater value while demonstrating how much she actually cares about it. And this authenticity comes through in many ways. It has afforded her respect as a philanthropist and as a contributor to these conversations about such subjects. As it's not just a show. Because she's knowledgeable about the subject, because she's prepared, and because she genuinely seems to enjoy these specific areas, it's clear that she's actually interested and actually wants to help and comes up with good ideas. And because of this, people do respect her involvement in these things. She's not sitting there just saying empty, vapid things and talking points. She is actually learning and doing things and contributing and offering up her ideas, her time, her help, and enthusiasm. Catherine is also one of the most relatable royals. She's not afraid to try things, to join in the games or be silly. The fact that she isn't always worried about how she'll look or what others will think, it isn't just relatable, but it also sets a really good example. She looks like she's having fun much of the time, especially when engaging with sports or children-focused organizations. She doesn't take her public work so seriously that she won't play or enjoy it. She also doesn't overdress or underdress. She doesn't wear excessive amounts of jewelry. She wears practical footwear most of the time. She's not overly done up. She's ready. She looks comfortable. Even when she is dressed up or in a suit, she looks comfortable still. This is relatable. This is the image side of relatability here. She's visually relatable despite having a supermodel's body type. The list of ways she has enhanced her relatability could go on forever, but we must mention her approach to sharing about her own health journey. She's done so in an incredibly touching and relatable way that would surely make others going through the same struggles feel supported and seen. In all these arenas, she remains poised in her approach, despite coming across as somebody who is very easy to talk to and connect with. One of the main things Catherine prioritizes is her family, and it's clear that she is very family-oriented. This is a value that she holds and has demonstrated over the years that she's been in the public eye. And for the huge percentage of women who are mothers, who are also family-oriented, they very much see themselves in her. She does the school runs, she does arts and crafts with her kids, she does sports and bike rides with them, just like everybody else. By all accounts, she is a hands-on mom, and she and William have always prioritized that. More so than previous generations, but clearly with the full support of the late Queen Elizabeth II and King Charles. Sometimes it was even headline making that they were keen to organize their diaries to where neither of them would be gone at the exact same time and that one of them would always be home for the school runs, especially while their children were very small. Beyond that, she comes from a close-knit family. She maintains a mutually supportive relationship with her siblings, and she's extremely close with King Charles and was also with the late Queen Elizabeth. She has great friendships with Zara and Sophie, Duchess of Edinburgh. And this is a positive for anyone, just in general. There's no way to look at that and think it's not a genuine thing, because we have seen for over a decade her building these relationships and watched them really flourish and grow. This has been a long-term development that we have seen. Her getting closer with various family members, her family support coming to her aid whenever she needs. These are things that over the years really demonstrate good character and truly show the person's values through their actions without them having to say it, that make a big difference when it comes to someone's public image or the public's perception of them. That we can see for over a decade these positive aspects of her and this strong family value is something that cannot be argued or questioned and is just known about her, which also sets a good example. Ultimately, what this really shows is good character. Someone who's likable in their personal life and who values their role in their family and values their family. It gives good mom vibes, and it gives good wife vibes too, because she and William appear to have a very strong relationship full of laughter and support for one another. Oftentimes, I'm surprised by just how many people have not actually heard Catherine the Princess of Wales's voice. She has been really quiet. Now, whether or not she's actually quiet in real life is one thing. When it comes to public statements, pronouncements, or interviews, she is extremely quiet. She seems very charismatic and even bubbly in real life, and she, by all accounts of people who know her, has a naughty sense of humor and is very fun to be around. When meeting with the public at engagements, she's very personable and has no problem chatting with people and making connections with them. So she may not be quiet all the time, but she is quiet when it comes to these big public stages. She's only ever given one actual sit-down interview, and that was her engagement interview when she and Prince William became engaged. So that was a long time ago. She clearly values her privacy, and that's what it really comes down to. She's been relatively quiet because she wants to maintain that privacy. She doesn't give out hardly any personal statements. She's given speeches more over the years as her work expands, but she's not someone who has sought the spotlight or overshared ever. We haven't seen articles written with interviews or books that she's contributed to or any of those sorts of things. She's made personal statements on occasion when important, including twice this year, once on video and once in a written statement, to inform the public of what's going on because it was very significant. But in general, she has not. Historically, she's hardly ever given out such sorts of personal statements. So when it comes to her public image, something she has not prioritized is telling us about herself, which in turn is helpful to her in many ways. It helps keep her private world truly private. And it also allows that boundary of privacy to remain strong. The more you start giving out little tidbits of things, the more people want to know more and more and more, or the more there is for people to criticize about this and that, or come up with stories about things. It really is the smart approach, and one that clearly Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip set a good example for the family. Probably the most significant thing when it comes to Catherine, the Princess of Wales, is what a strong and good role model she is. She is an excellent role model, and there are so many positives to say about her. She's made countless positive impacts in the projects she's involved with. She is a positive role model in general, and she's set countless good examples when it comes to how she presents herself, how she speaks with people, demonstrates her values, and she's had a profoundly positive impact on culture. When you think of role models, oftentimes it's somebody who may be a role model in some categories of life, but not necessarily all of them. Someone who perhaps has achieved a lot professionally, but maybe doesn't have the best, most spotless personal life. With royals in general, it's very evident with, for example, Queen Elizabeth II, but also for Catherine and others of the royal family, that they're unique when it comes to their role model power because of the sustained presence in the spotlight that they maintain. They've had decades to demonstrate through their actions rather than their words, which is more powerful in these settings, their character and values. Other public figures like celebrities or activists or politicians, for example, they're in the public eye for a much shorter period of time. And while they're still known after they've left their public duties, they're much less impactful in terms of being a role model once that period of time that they've contributed has ended. It's a much more temporary sort of a way. But with the royals, they're living in the public eye. And while that does present its own set of challenges, it also means that people have been watching their choices and the examples that they set over time, more so than any other public figures. Their family dynamics are on display. And that's a big part of why Catherine is so very well loved and respected. Because we have seen her character. We have seen how she and this core group of royals really do support each other, are close-knit, and help each other out. We've seen her choices and her values demonstrated through her actions over the years. She's not had to tell us what she values or what she finds important. She hasn't told us that she's a role model. She just is. And we can see that her actions reflect her values, and her good character is clearly evident. Also, the things she does say when she's supporting charities or giving speeches about certain subjects are reflected by her actions in her real life as well. She, without trying, perhaps somewhat by accident, has become a magnificent role model, and she's demonstrated profound grace in the face of challenges. She has led through her examples over the years, and in a manner that is truly exceptional. Whether it's her elegance, her stylish and respectful dressing, her lifestyle that prioritizes sport, creativity, and family, her grounded approach to the role that she's in that values privacy, or any other of the various ways that she's demonstrated a positive and balanced approach to aspects of her life, it's clear that she's not only the children's or the people's princess, but that she's one of the greatest role models of all time, and has become a true leader when it comes to women and families around the world. It's no wonder that she's so loved and supported, and it would seem that everyone is grateful for her and her continued recovery. We recently took a close look at the feud between Harry and William and the differences between the brothers that have only grown over the years. But something that they had in common was that their spouses would become public figures, and the differences between how Catherine and Meghan approached that are humongous. Our part 2 takes a look at those differences in how Catherine and Meghan utilized or maximized the public roles they found themselves in. So you won't want to miss that video when it comes. Well, thank you so much for joining me for today's video. I do hope you enjoyed it or found it somewhat interesting to watch. Click the like button if you did. Thank you so much again. I hope you have a very happy day ahead, and I will see you next time. Bye.